Hey guys, welcome to the first part of a video series I'm going to do on Nofap. I really hope the wind's not blowing through this microphone. This is like the third time I filmed this. Alright, whatever, we're going for it. Anyway, so this first video I'm doing on what I think is to be definitely the most important step to Nofap and to really any self-development you're going to do. You are going to need awareness, which is what we're getting into today. So we're going to be talking about awareness and the 3 stages of Nofap. Alright, so diving into awareness, it's like, what is awareness? Most of us know, to be aware, situationally, or to be aware of our emotions or something like that. And that's basically what I mean when it comes to being aware of, as far as Nofap, is to really be aware of yourself, essentially. The biggest thing to overcoming something, to defeating an enemy, is to know your enemy. And as far as Nofap, if you do it blind, you might get far, you might stop yourself from fapping, you might get over fapping, but that'll be a struggle. First of all, that'll be hard because you're gonna do it forcefully, you're not gonna do it smart. And second of all, it'll just manifest into a different problem if you totally approach it with no awareness. Fap is just, it's a symptom of something else, usually. I'm not gonna say everybody, but for the most part, if you have a problem with fapping, then there is some sort of underlying thing that you're covering up with fap, and that's where we use our awareness for a deeper understanding, of ourselves and of why this, this response that we created for ourselves. What is it responding to? Is it an emotion? Is it a situation in your life? Is it something you're, not facing? What is it? That's where we use awareness. And as I was saying, if you get over it brute force and you're not aware of why FAP was there in the first place, then it'll just end up being, you'll end up avoiding whatever it was, that void that you were filling up with FAP. You will just fill it or cover it up with, with whatever your vice is, gaming, whatever, there's plenty to choose from. So yeah, as far as awareness, we all, I'm sure, know what we're talking about when we say awareness. So really, all I can do is to kind of lay down some ideas to how you could hone your awareness, and some things I've picked up along the way, the 3 stages of Nofap that I've seen in myself through awareness. So you could, if you applied your awareness, you could see, an understanding as I have in my own journey. Use mine just as a template. I'm not saying this is it for you, because this is all this stuff that I'm saying is just from my own journey, and it might apply to yours. So as far as honing your awareness, to me, honestly, first of all, I would say meditation is definitely your power tool, to really pump that awareness up. Meditation has been shown, not only, awareness, you can't really prove that scientifically, but meditation is also good for willpower, and that pairs really well with awareness, because you might be aware of something, but you might not have the will to act on it. But that's a topic for another video, and I'll do a meditation video as well. But essentially, meditation is, it's great for a lot of things, but what it's best for, I would say, is honing your awareness. Because when you're meditating, you're tuning out everything outside, and you're just being aware of a specific thing, maybe your breath. You're honing that awareness to see the little things, and you'll need that. Man, the sun is really coming up and down this branch. So yeah, meditation. But meditation, I always recommend meditation. Pick up meditation. It's a great habit. But as far as more what you could do now, right here, right now, is I would say journaling. Like, as far as Nofap, I would say the best thing I could really tell you is, if you get an urge, or let's say you get an urge, what I want you to do is to kind of break that little response cycle you have. You have an urge, you get into it, and you do all that shit. To get down and write down, what exactly triggered you right there and then. What triggered you? And just having that awareness, even if it's as simple as, this hot ass, this babe just triggered me, just to bring awareness into it. It's not essential. We're not trying to dig up some gold here that, you have some sort of a big turn on, big booties, or, we're not trying to look for gold in that. It's just that you're working your awareness, that, you're turning it on now, you're looking at what triggers you, how it makes you feel, all that kind of stuff. So that's the best thing I could say to how to start honing your awareness right away, is to using something like journaling. Journaling is good because, first of all, it gives you that kind of third perspective. Like, sometimes you have thoughts running through your head and they all seem pretty great, and then if you put it on paper, it gives you kind of like that third perspective. Like, if someone came over and had a second opinion on your thoughts, you get to see your thoughts on that paper out of your head, and then you could kind of get a better perspective on it. Okay, let me just move this. Look for that shade spot. Here we go. So journaling definitely will help you being more aware, because it'll just start honing you down to actually observing your thoughts and just things like what triggers me. That's just a random thing. So meditation, journaling. I don't mean you don't have to go hardcore, like write a diary of your day, but just jot shit down. Be aware of shit. Like, what triggered me? What was I doing before I was triggered? What led up to it? Like, was I bored? What was I feeling? You make it up, you see what fits for you. But the important thing is to turning on that, that microscope. We're starting to look at things now. We're starting to look at patterns. You want to see the patterns. You want to break down the patterns. At the first stages, that's what you want to do, is to see your patterns. To see your patterns that are actually triggering your response. The response is fat. So what is the stimuli that, it's obvious, like, porn or whatever, but what leads you to get there? There is a little bit more intricate process that happens before you actually sit down and pop a good old video in. So honing in your awareness. And so, like, in my own Nofap journey, I kind of, for me, like, this is a generality. I've come up with 3 stages that happen in Nofap. This is completely, just me being aware of the stages I go through. It might not apply to you, but it might give you a little bit of insight. And you'll start seeing patterns like this when you start applying your own awareness. But the 3 stages of Nofap, and this will help you be aware, So if you are going through these stages, this awareness will give you strength to, knowledge is power, my friends. So let's see. Stage 1, I call the ravenous state, because stage 1 is when you're really you're really getting off the dope, the FAP, and everything just triggers you. Everything, a little image, whatever, a pop-up, your pop-ups. That's old school, but just everything. It puts you in that state where, any good plans, any good ideas you might have had, they just go flying out the window, because, the feeling, the response is just totally overwhelming. It puts you in overdrive to do, what your body wants at that point. So at this stage 1, little tactics, awareness, whatever, it won't help you much. I mean, awareness will help, definitely, but let me scratch that. Awareness is what'll help you, but awareness at a basic level. Like, what I want you to try is that if you find yourself at this stage, first stage, I would say this is like the first week. For me, it's the first week or two, usually the first week. It could be up to a month for some people, but if you're in this stage, then the best thing I think you could do is to be aware of your body, your physiology. Like, when you get overwhelmed with, something triggers you, and you're like, oh God, I got fat right now. At that point, what you wanna do is kind of try and break the cycle by doing something a little different. And this little different thing would be to start to turn your awareness from your mind. You're thinking of the thoughts like, oh, I'm gonna go get it right now, to turning it on your body, to be aware of the physiological response that this is creating in you. For me, like, my breath gets shallower. I get more tight a little bit around, the abs. And I mean, these are subtle things. You might be listening and you're like, oh, like, what? That doesn't happen to me. Well, it might. You might not be aware of it. And I also feel like this surge of energy, inside of me. And it feels all like, it doesn't feel, that kind of energy it's like uplifting. Not uplifting, it's kind of like a turmoil, I would say. The best word I would say is like a turmoil, because it's like misdirected, I would say. But anyway, I'm rambling about that. But that stage one, the ravenous state, that's the best thing I think you could do, is just turn your awareness on your body, on your physiology, what's going on inside of you from that response. You kind of break the pattern of getting triggered and then instantly your thoughts go bam, 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 and it takes you down the cycle. And instead, break that and turn the awareness on you, on the body, on the physiology. What's going on within this one? So that's stage one. Stage two is the rationalizing stage. Excuse me. And this stage, I mean, you're past the crazy hungry state. Oh wow, this is really moving quick. Basically, I'm just aligning myself with the shadow of a branch. All right, so the second stage we're on, right? Yeah. So the second stage, the rationalizing stage. This is the point where you're smooth sailing, you're all good, but like you're going a month or something, and then you trip up and you decide to rationalize to yourself to fap. And this comes in many ways. I mean, for me, I tell myself like, oh, my shit's backing up. It would probably be healthy for me to squeeze one out, or whatever it may be. You're gonna make a lot of sense. You're gonna make a lot of sense to yourself, because this is your own mind playing against you. It knows you. This is you, So it's not gonna be hard for your mind to trick you. At this stage, awareness is definitely gonna help you, but what's gonna really get through this is commitment. To remember that you committed to this, and to know the end result you wanted. You committed to it, you stick it through, and whenever you start rationalizing, you remember, I committed to this. I shouldn't be rationalizing like this. I already committed to it. But as far as awareness at this stage, what you want to do is, first of all, like me telling you this, like at this stage you're going to be rationalizing, like you might have not kind of been aware of that. So now when it comes up, you'll be like, oh, this is just the response, this is just the rationalizing coming in. So being aware of that, like expecting it, you're already in the good right there. And what could also help a lot is again, sitting down, and before you do anything crazy, you go down to your notepad and you write it out. Like, I believe I'm rationalizing. I'm saying this and this, and does this make sense? No, it never makes sense. I mean, it'll seem like it makes sense, but no, trust me, you're not making sense. So yeah, that's stage two, rationalizing. And third third and most important stage, and I have to move back again. The sun is setting really fast. All right, third and most important stage. So this stage I call the digging up the roots, you know, getting to the root of the problem and digging it up. Okay, it looks like that branch isn't helping me anymore. Whatever, I'll go with the sun in my eyes. Digging up the roots. So at this stage, this is the most important stage. As I was saying at the beginning of the video, if you brute force, if you go through it and you know you stop the habit of fapping, it'll come up somewhere else, you know, it'll prop up somewhere else because you had a problem to begin with to cover up something else, you know. So this is the third stage where it takes care of that problem, and you know, you're cutting off the head of the snake, so to speak, so you know it's not going to prop up somewhere else, you know. So at this stage, I mean, you've gone through the ravenous stage, you've gone through the rationalizing stage. Now it's time to bury this thing, and you know, awareness, this only awareness will get you to here and through here. And you really gotta get down on yourself, you know. Journaling again, great. Writing down, you know, what you think is lacking, what are you using Fab for, where are you in life that you're not satisfied with, what's going on in your life, what are you not satisfied with, what do you want out of life, what are you scared of, you know. It could be so many things. Like for me, I was in rising up to challenges, like facing challenges in my life. I would get overwhelmed and I would want an escape from that. Another thing is I was lacking a sense of community. For me, this was a big part, and I used FAMP as well, but more so I used online gaming for that, because that gave me a sense of community. So you could see there's an overlap. Like I said, it would manifest in different things. Right here, you can see there's an overlap. Like that same problem, and there's multiple problems. It might not just be one. Like I said, like community. And so when I really thought about that and I found that out, like I realized I need that somehow. So knowing it, I looked for it. You know, I consider myself kind of a lone wolf kind of person, and for me, you know, community like that, you know, I would rather avoid that. I don't really want that. But thankfully, somehow, the idea to join martial arts came up to me, and that was perfect. I mean, online gaming, it's basically this in real life, because my favorite game was this game where it took a lot of skill, you train a lot, and then you duel people, you know, you fight people. And I joined Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, BJJ, and that's exactly what it is. Like, it takes a lot of skill, you train, you hone your skills, and you spar with people. That's like, you spar and spar and spar, and you get to test your skills out, and it's competitive, and it's fun, and there's a sense of community and, you know, friendship. So that's great, you know. And as far as the facing challenges in life, you know, I've been rising up to it. You know, I'm not saying I'm all good here, and you know, I've gone through it, but now I'm aware, you know, so I know where I gotta attack it. And that's the whole point I'm making in this video. Alright guys, that is a wrap on this video. Sun blazing in my eyes. So yeah guys, until next time.